lawyer in velvet gown whispers the law beneath the moon's sweet glow. He's here to guide you through the undertow, from tales of love lost and battles won, to secrets that hide when the day is done. He'll paint the night with stories so stark. Welcome to family law after dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark. The lawyer's voice smooth like leather, he sings lies only he can tether. In the sultry jazz lounge, let the wisdom flow. Feel the rhythm in the late night glow. Through custody tangles and alimony strife, he navigates the drama of everyday life. With a wry wink and a cheeky remark, let's unravel family law after dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark. Light up that cigar and pour a glass of red, as we wade through matters not often said, where hearts and minds often leave a mark. Dive deep into family law after dark.
Happy Friday, folks. This is Omar Serrano with the Tilted Lawyer podcast. I'm joined by Brad, the IT guy, Bruce, the Moose, Anita, the internet sleuth. Anita's upset with me, I think, because of my last stream.
I'm not. You're just the one who gets to hear the angry passion, but it's not directed at you. I'm angry at the U.S. law about this 47.1 bullshit, but
yeah, there's a lot of
not
people
at
angry
you.
with the U.S. nowadays.
No, the law. I'm not angry with the U.S. It hasn't done anything to me yet.
Not yet. Well, if you come over here, you never know, because all of a sudden we don't like. Oh, never mind. Anyway, folks, it's good to see you. It's officially Friday with the commencement of another episode of Family Law After Dark. What the hell is that?
This
Bruce?
is my alcoholic monster.
The Beast?
Yeah.
Got alcohol in it?
Yeah.
It's kind of counterproductive to have like energy
It's
drink.
not caffeine and alcohol. It's just the flavor of the monster beverage, but with alcohol.
Well, that just sounds disgusting.
Dang, Brad, were you testifying about your twins today? Is that why you're drinking that, or what's going on?
I wasn't testifying about anything, actually. I've been reading too many documents that have been coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
FLAD is already on fire. Michelle Moulton's talking about getting felt up by TSA.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it ain't gay if it's the TSA.
It's
Is that what you tell yourself?
It's someone to put it on a t-shirt.
Oh boy. Anyway, hey, Bruce, what you lubricating with?
I have orange juice and sparkling water.
Oh, there you go. Anita, I gotta imagine you're on a bottle of some red wine.
I'm drinking coffee. It's 2:30 a.m. Let's do this.
Let's fucking do it. What does TSA stand for, Rob? All right.
Well,
I guess it does. I don't know, man. Anyway, let's get into these cases because we got a lot to get to. There's a Laura Owens thing happening at 7:30 that I don't know if I'm doing that with Lauren or if I'm doing it by myself with the schnitzel or if we're all going on Lauren's thing. There's something happening at 7:30 with the Laura Owens case. Something about
Where?
I think it's on Lauren's stream. It may be on my stream. If it is, I haven't set anything up. So I guess we'll see. We will see.
Stream at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, we usually dual stream, me and Lauren.
I don't see anything scheduled, but it could be set up 5 minutes beforehand.
Anyway, Rob, to answer your question, as soon as I have a link, I will get it to you. I may have to just make a link, and if I have to do that, I will. But let's do this. Let's get into case number 1. And I hope you guys are good and angry because how do I get out of this shit? Hold on a minute.
Speaking of angry,
what did I do? Oh, here we go. MC with a 5 says, Anita, you have a personality type that is logical, and when things are illogical, it's like a flashing red light error. Yeah. I feel bad, Anita, because I feel like you have a really sound, logically sound arguments. And I hate that I have to like break up your logic with stupid law. I hate it.
Yeah, and the irony is that the law is not logical. It's just mind-boggling to me. Like it's okay. This is not Blake Lively. This is FLAD.
Let's get on the FLAD. Let us bring in FLAD. Here we go.
Thank you, MC. I appreciate it. I agree with you.
Yeah. Aquanetta's getting lubricated. She's got a martini, a red wine glass, and some mimosas, it looks like. If I'm judging these emojis correctly. Anyway, our first date. Well, I have a hot date with myself. Well, I have a hot date with all of you.
Oh boy.
I have some Jameson Black Barrel with some Diet Coke. It's not the best. But I'm trying to get rid of my Jameson Black Barrel. So
you can get the job done.
Well, I'm trying to slow down my lubrication, so I'm not going straight whiskey today. You know what I mean? I need some advice because I honestly feel like I have whiplash from last night's events. My boyfriend and I, 36 male, 26-year-old female, have known that we were going to be together a long time since
long term,
and knew our relationship would result in marriage. There has been zero pressure for proposal, wedding, marriage, etc. from either of us or the people in our lives. We went ring shopping and he ended up purchasing a beautiful ring we both agreed on, and it's been our home since May. He told me to have my nails ready for July through August, so that way I didn't have an exact time frame of when it would happen, just to be ready. You know what? This reminds me of, do you guys watch that show with Ricky Gervais where his wife died? What's it called?
Afterlife.
Afterlife. So there's this episode where he is interviewing this lady who's 101 years old. And they're asking her about what is her opinion about how her life is going. Like, I'm just angry. So what's your advice for everybody that wants to be 101? And she says, don't. Because I'm 101 years old and I've seen fuck all. I might as well have been a tree. She hasn't seen anything. She's just completely negative the whole way. I feel like young people, when they get involved in these youth-based relationships, it's like they're on an escalator to some place. And it's real comfortable on the escalator and nobody really wants to get off because look, they're moving logically towards a destination and they'll get there. They'll get there inevitably. Is it the best path to go? How would you even know? You've never been off the escalator. And so these young folks, they stay on it. They get all the way. And then the next logical conclusion is, oh, we're together now. Proposal and marriage and children and stuff and buy a house. And then next thing you know, 12 years later, divorce, affairs, bullshit, stuff. Like there's danger towards failing to look outside of the escalator that you put yourself onto when you're like 18, 19 years old. I can't tell you how many divorces I've had where So what's the date of marriage? And it turns out when they got married, they were like sub 24 years old. And now they're like 35, 36, and it's time to move on. But now they all got baggage. They got kids, they got houses they got to divide, they got retirement accounts, they have stories of infidelity, they got stories of resentment, and it's just it's not the way to experience an escalator, so to speak. I don't know why this made me think of that, but it did. So they go ring shopping. He ended up purchasing a beautiful ring we both agreed on. It's been in our home since May. He told me to have my nails ready for July through August, so that way I didn't have an exact time frame of when it would happen, just to be ready. That's a weird effing request. Would you ever tell your lady to get her nails done and keep them ready for like pictures?
For engagement, if you're gonna have a professional photographer taking it and then getting in the moment photos, I could see it.
I honestly wouldn't give a shit. I don't even look at your hands.
I wouldn't. It's not for you. It's for
That's
her.
a giveaway. That's such a big giveaway. Like, get your nails done. Unless he tells her that on monthly basis. Otherwise, this is like, why would I get my nails done? Like, that's not a surprise.
They bought the ring together, so it's not like it's.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not for you, Omar. It's for your Instagram account.
It could be for whoever.
Yeah,
and
it
they
is
just
because
know.
maybe it's important. He knows it's important for her for Instagram and stuff. Maybe that's why that could make
No.
sense.
Well, maybe good for him. All I'm saying is I will never look at your hands or your feet. They will be invisible to me. I'll know that they're there. I'm just saying that it doesn't. You're right. It's not for the guy. It's for the girl. I get it. I work from home, so he lets me wear it in the house. Super silly, I know, but we're both just so excited. Love looking at the ring. Up until this point, he hasn't officially proposed, but since he hasn't proposed, but she's seen the ring. What do you think about that? All right. Up until so they haven't, he hasn't proposed, but they're over here taking pictures with the ring and they're looking at it and stuff. It just feels a little putting the cart before the horse, you know? He feels we're basically engaged without telling people. I thought it was cute, so I went along with it. Well, last night, he proposed, but not in the way I thought it would happen. We're laying in bed. I know, super cliche. Is that cliche? And just about to fall asleep. As we're facing each other, he says, I'm waiting for a more formal day to ask you where you can have your nails done, a pretty dress on, someone taking photos of the proposal, but insert my name. Will you marry me? I paused. It was super serious. The way he said it, I wasn't expecting to be laying in bed, which caught me off guard. And after my brief pause, I said yes. We started kissing. And in between kisses, I asked a few questions because I was so spun up about it. I asked, does that mean that we're engaged? And he said, yeah. I asked one more clarifying question, which was, does that mean you're my fiancé? He said, yes. We were both in the moment. We made love. And afterwards, I was laying on his chest and said that I couldn't believe we were engaged and asked if I could start wearing the ring outside the house. He then got uncomfortable and said, well, I wouldn't be making posts on Facebook that we're engaged. It's not official. I just wanted to confirm that you'd say yes when I do. My heart sunk. And so I asked, so that means you're my boyfriend, not fiance, just like you just said. And he said, yeah. What a dick. He said I can't tell people that we're engaged and that it's only between us, even though we're technically not engaged. He said he doesn't want this story to be what we tell people. And this moment was just for a between us moment. I asked, isn't the proposal a between us moment? And he paused and was like, oh yeah, that's true. He apologized when I told them that the whole situation confused me and I felt like it played with my heart and emotions. And I would agree with her. I guess I don't know what to make of this situation. He was not malicious in this at all. I think he's just very excited and didn't think it through. But it definitely played with my head, emotions, and heart. I still feel confused. He told me plan for July after all this, and we'll make it official. But now I feel like the excitement is gone. My boyfriend proposed, but then took it back. What do? I don't want to treat him any differently because of it, but I feel funny about it all. Any advice is welcome. Anita, as the lone female on the panel, that's normally Schnitzel in this position.
Ask.
You can take Aquanita's
Communicate.
comment down.
What do you think about? Okay, let's just say, I know that you're married, but let's just say that the way that your husband proposed was exactly like this, and he just kept you on ice for a little bit. It's like, yeah, no, just don't go making no Instagram post just yet.
Oh.
It will be official at a more opportune time. This was just for us. What do you think about that whole thing?
First of all, I didn't even post about my marriage, let alone my wedding, let alone engagement. But I would ask. I would literally like. I'm a communicator, so like with my husband or my partner, whatever stage is, I don't think about what can I or what I can't ask. That should be it could be like, oh, sorry, I didn't understand. Like, I'm a bit confused. Obviously, you don't go in on offense. You try to ask it in a way to understand so that you get the right and honest answer. Not right in that sense, but honest. Because anything she does besides not getting the answer from him is assumption.
Would you feel offended when he would tell you to, you know what, just keep it on wraps for now? Basically, I know that I just said that I'm your fiancé. Well, he said,
just like, let's say if she says that he is not malicious right now, just if I'm assuming right now, I think maybe he's thinking that, oh, he wants her to have a better, like a more magical official proposal where she would be proud to post. Like, let's say if I'm thinking very optimistically, and if he's not malicious, then this could be the reasoning. But again, unless you ask, you don't really know. I would be confused, not offended. I don't think I would be offended. I would be confused. But yet again, this whole thing is from get-go was weird, how they planned everything. Just like, why don't you just get the ring and then get engaged on the spot then?
Would you be annoyed that he's being so fickle about it all? Like, what do you care about if everything's all perfectly in place?
No.
Like, that's one way to do it. Another way would be the way that Rocky Balboa proposed to Adrian. You remember how that was, Bruce?
Adrian.
Oh, boy.
It was like, hey, yo, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind marrying me too much. And she's like, yes. And then they did. And then they got butt kiss a dog collar or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they celebrated. Anyway, that's one way to do it. I don't know. I'm a little bit annoyed, I guess more than Anita is, that this guy is like wanting everything to be all picture perfect. Like, I give a shit. I don't give a shit about like the Instagram pictures.
Yeah.
Having everything so much. I feel like it's cool to do that, but if you're doing that, I don't know. It's just
to me, the red flag
stress.
is how he said he was her fiance, and then 10 minutes later or whatever, he's not. That's a very quick contradiction. Maybe he performed really badly in bed, and he doesn't want that to be their engagement story. But
well,
other than that, I can't think of a good reason.
Do you think that this is the kind of guy that, like, if she cooked him a filet mignon, a good, healthy 12-ounce filet mignon steak, that he would send it back to his wife? It's like, you know what? If you're not going to cook my steak correctly, medium rare, then just she didn't cook it at all. And then throws it back at her and demands another one. Like she's the waitress.
We don't have any description of his personality or how he behaves.
No,
from this
I'm trying
letter.
to deduce as I do.
By the way, I want to just jump on Bruce Moose wagon and say that I am more concerned about. I wanted to test to see if he would say yes. That's a much bigger red flag than him trying to make it perfect. Like, yeah, like trying to make it perfect is like maybe, like, not maybe, but usually they know that for women, especially if he knows her, it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
So not picture perfect thing. I will get on board with that one. The fact that he said that, I just want to test it to see if he would say,
yeah, that's a good point.
Before I spend all that money and actually propose. That's like,
well, I think it's a little bogus to make it like a test, because number one, he already knows the answer. They already have a ring, so they've already talked about it. So he should already know the answer. Number two, even if he wants to double check, he could do it without double proposing. He could check without doing that linguistically. So I agree with you. It's a huge red flag.
Maybe he was testing himself to see if he's still on board with it. Like he just like, let me try and see if I actually want this.
Yeah, this could be more a psychological thing for him. What did somebody in chat call it? Waffling?
Waffling. No, that's a word.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to say is I feel like a man, when they are ready to propose, if you don't already know what your lady's going to say, it's probably not time to propose. Like that's never, I feel like if you reach the point where you've had enough conversations and talks
Yeah.
in the sanctity of your relationship, you shouldn't need her independent confirmation that she's going to say yes.
Yeah, the rule, Omar, is if you don't know if she's going to say yes or no, you need to propose on the Jumbotron at a sports event.
Oh, totally. That's the way.
That's the rule. If you're not sure, that's how you propose. Otherwise,
or you don't propose immediately. You start talking about what you guys see. Why are we skipping so many steps before getting her on the Jumbotron or on a hot air balloon or something?
Well, he wants to get turned down by in front of as many people as possible and make it as awkward as possible.
Exactly.
You know.
I was proposed to on a little plane. I wasn't given a parachute, so.
What?
What? Did you want to jump out of the plane?
No, I'm just saying that. Like it's now that we were talking, I was like, wait, was I trapped? I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say yes, or you don't get a parachute. How about that?
Yeah, so yeah, he's a red flag, not because he wanted the perfect thing, but because he tested her. Maybe not even a red flag, maybe just talk it out.
I don't know, man. He feels like a Karen. He feels like a male Karen. He feels like the kind of guy that would complain about his toast being over buttered and sending it back at a frickin' Denny's at 3 a.m.
Are you sure? I don't feel like he's complaining here.
No, somebody wrote that he was just seeking reassurance. Like, it's so interesting how we say it, like the same thing. Yeah, that also makes sense. He was just seeking reassurance, but wasn't the reassurance that they got the ring together?
That part of it is weird to me. Like the fact that she even has the ring and like they're playing with it and like doing like photo ops with it or whatever. And that part of it is weird to me. Like, I feel like the ring should be like sprung up at the time of proposal. But hey, I'm not a stickler for tradition or anything. I just feel like, what are they doing playing with the ring?
Yeah, it seems weird. Like the people I know who, they go pick out a ring, but they don't buy it. And then the guy goes back later and gets the ring. And then,
like Luann says, no balls. Thank you, Luann. That's what I'm glad you said it instead of I. If I said it, I'd be accused of being toxically masculine. Well, that's what I wanted to say.
That's different than complaining about a steak.
Well, I also feel I've known a lot of guys like this in my life, and there's the kind of guy that complain about any stupid little thing. They're not the kind of guys that will just go with the flow of life. They want to dictate to the universe as opposed to allowing the universe to dictate to them. And they are
find some reason to waffle or postpone or delay.
Could we move on from this no balls guy? Because I don't like him. I'm done with this guy. All right, finished. Moving on to the next one.
Amazing.
He's been neutered. Yes, got it.
He's been neutered. Would you agree that he has no balls, Anita? You said that was kind of the source of the red flag.
No balls. I don't know. I don't like him. That's all I can say.
I don't like him either. Just move on. You guy's a dick. How about that? All right. Or small balls. I mean, I'm not gonna measure. Just never mind. You guys are let us move on. Do loving women realistically exist? At 40, I'm getting disenchanted. Where do I look? Oh boy. What do we got here? All right, so I'm a man, approximately 40 years old. Dating has proven to be a huge challenge for me in the last years. I understand the modern dating landscape quite well. It doesn't seem like he does.
Mm-hmm.
The effect of the apps and social narratives and all that, but my question is real. Are there good women or marriage material out there? The answer to that question is yes. I was hoping that I would be able to find a person to share life with, shape common goals, enjoy everyday pleasures, enjoy our physical dimension, and of course, have a mutual support system. I wanted a person who was oriented in creating a bond, who was a fan of me as much as I am a fan of her. You know, this guy's not a bad writer. I remember candidly the movie Groundhog Day.
This is not good writing.
Listen, Bruce, give him a chance.
Our physical dimension, like which of the four dimensions is he talking about?
I'm not saying he's a lot. I'm not saying he's academically sound. I'm saying he's got an eye for creative writing.
Everyday pleasure.
This dude read the Notebook and then said, "I can write something better," and didn't.
You know what? You guys
Look, Omar. First of all, he puts good women in quotes. That's your first red flag. Second red flag, he says marriage material. So like now women are material, which is objectification. That's your second red flag.
Yeah.
One physical dimension, that's weird. That's a third red flag. Everyday pleasures, that's creepy. That's a fifth red flag.
Oh boy.
Just writing is bad.
I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, Bruce, and you've soiled that. So here's the real question. Do you think that he's a Republican or a Democrat?
Oh, who cares?
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Omar is itching.
Because here's the thing. The interesting
answer.
Going back to destroying his writing, he said shape common goals. And it's really weird because you have goals and you want your goals to meet. You don't want to try and make goals that are so outside of your both moral compasses.
I guess what I was saying is if this was like a 15-year-old writing this, I would say that he's got writing talent. The fact that he's almost 40 years old, maybe you guys are right. Maybe I'm the asshole. How about that? Anyway,
he's not writing like a sci-fi novel or something. He's just asking Reddit for advice. This is terrible.
He thinks the problem is that he thinks that's what women want. He's writing to the women audience, I can tell. And
it's ask men advice, so he's writing to the completely wrong
the wrong demographic.
Oh, is that
you guys basically told him to go have some cream for his vagina.
Oh no.
That was the feedback this guy is getting from YouTube men
today.
I didn't say these two just, I was trying to compliment him and these two just ripped him apart.
I think he just needs to leave the house more.
Maybe. Well, I should probably read what he's got to say. I remember candidly the movie Groundhog Day. That was a good one. That promised me, okay, he's a bad writer. I agree. That promised me if I am a positive person, I would be getting Andie MacDowell. How was that the promise? He failed like 5,000 times before she agreed to date him.
Also, a movie is a movie. It's not real life.
Exactly.
Also, you don't he's getting Andie MacDowell. He's objectifying her again. This is terrible.
Oh, well, his version of Andie MacDowell, maybe we don't know what his version of that would be.
It's not that he is attracted to Andie MacDowell. It says it's because he uses the verb getting.
Getting. Okay. I see what you're getting at. So you're painting I'm honestly trying my best to give this guy like a fair shake, you know? I don't want to just point him as like the 40-year-old virgin and sell whatever angry at women guy. I'm trying to give him
literally the concept of the post, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to use labels like that. I'm just looking at what he's writing and taking it at face value.
I'm trying to elevate my thinking on this post and see if there's any hope here to salvage. I don't want to just, okay, but he thought he was getting Andie MacDowell because he saw a Groundhog Day. If he had a positive outlook on life, that's a logical leap if I ever saw one. Even if I had been an idiot my whole life, Well, that didn't happen. Clearly. Despite my best efforts, I get very negative vibes from women out there. I live in a big city for professionals. If that matters, it doesn't. Women who treat me like an entertainment center, women who are rude.
A big city for professionals implies that there's a big city for amateurs somewhere.
Where would the big city for amateurs be?
I don't know. Portland, Oregon? I don't know.
Is it Detroit?
No.
No, you know what? I've been to Detroit. Detroit's cool.
Detroit will spit you out.
Granted, I haven't been to Detroit since 2002.
Detroit will spit you out.
Yes, it will. I did get, I don't know where for amateurs. Honestly, if I were to pick a city for amateurs, it would be LA. That's where everybody has like their big hopes and, unevolved dreams and concepts of life. Go fuck around and find out in LA. That'll cause you to grow up really fast. Or New York City. You know what? I think that's the answer to that question.
I think he's in New York City, but
a city for professionals would be like Montana.
Oh my gosh. It was just a throwaway joke based on this guy's writing.
You guys are dicks.
I wasn't being that serious about it.
Let's finish the post because sometimes we read it and then it turns out there's another story behind it.
That is true.
Exactly.
I feel like there's some foreshadowing.
Change our point of view.
Women who treat me like an entertainment center. What does that mean? Women who are rude. Any woman that has ever rejected him is going to be categorized as rude. Women who are very demanding. Wait a minute. Without offering anything in return. Women who feel like they came out of a frat party rather than down-to-earth, nice persons. Now he's giving off incel vibes. Women who have never been in real relationships with someone.
Have you been in real relationships, guy? Because it sounded like you haven't.
Well, he's the kind of guy like, you know what? If you just met a guy like me, I would give you everything you ever wanted and hoped for and desired. But you're with that effing guy, and so you know what? You get what you get. Pretty much what he's trying to do.
Why is he the one defining what a real
I think like
relationship
he's painting like his alter ego, like it's not the reality.
His alter ego is Batman. Or who's that guy? That Psycho, the Psycho guy. The one with Christian Bale. What was that movie? American Psycho.
American Psycho.
That's what it was. That's his alter ego. Women who are expecting life to be an overhyped Instagram party. Oh no. Women who do not respect my schedule.
Hater or he's gay. I don't know.
Wait, what's an Instagram party?
I honestly don't know. Someone that has an Instagram with lots of pictures on it, maybe.
I mean, he makes it sound
like a frat party that everyone takes photos at, and it's the thing because you were at that party.
Don't ask me. I literally just found out how to do stories yesterday.
Brad, do you want to come to my Instagram party?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Listen to what he's saying. Women who do not respect my schedule despite them having the strictest schedule possible. I'm not trying to give up, but my empirical evidence is saying otherwise. Yes, I get it. If I could just loosen up a bit, I could be having casual dates and sex. If I could treat women with indifference, I could be having some success, but this is not the way I want to live. Oh boy. Who wants to start in on this guy?
Get a grip.
Is this
That's what I want to say.
He's got a grip. That's the problem. He won't stop having a grip.
Oh boy. This is the end?
That's the end. He just wanted, that's his rant to the universe. He can't get women. And he's sick of it.
Is he
never asked for advice.
Well, he asked,
where?
Well, the question is, are there good women or marriage material out there?
Oh, well, okay. I think that you're right. That's the question, because this is not a question.
No,
everything else is just bullshit.
It just makes me
back my creative writing.
There isn't.
Yeah. Anita, what would you say to this guy?
There isn't for you.
There's
stay away.
Brad, do you have any advice for this young man?
The problem with this guy is either he's dating similar age women, which the women in the dating pool at 40, if you're going for similar age women, is going to be divorcees career women who are just going to stab your balls with their stilettos, and that's about it. So
that is a very red pill
That's
answer.
oddly specific. Yes.
Stab my balls.
The problem is he's in a major city, and he's not going to find the cute country girl that's waiting for her Hallmark guy to show up in a major city. So
Hey, I just want you to know that you dried up Khaleesi. Thanks for that, Brad.
No, that was 3 minutes ago. There's no way.
Well, Brad has a point. You can't find the Hallmark lady in the big city because she has to get sent by her angry boss to the small town during Christmas so she can save the Christmas tree farm and meet the guy.
You dried up Ricardo too, for that matter, Brad.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Was it the stiletto balls or what?
I don't know. You all said something wrong. I don't know what you guys did.
No
Stop
comment.
drawing up, folks. It's supposed to be FLAD. It's not the occasion.
But my point
I
is,
think I need to put something in my coffee.
he either needs to change his expectations for the women that he's going after, or quite honestly, go for the younger women. Because if he's going for the younger women, he's going to get more of that Instagram party vibe from those girls, but they're not going to be the overbearing career women that are trying to find the guy that is even bigger than they are. And if he's not at that level, then they are going to demean him and say, well, you're 40. You should be, making all kinds of money and have all this free time and, get me the black car Ubers to our dates and whatnot.
Black car Ubers are not that much of a luxury item, Brad. Isn't that just
I think he's looking for a mother or something like that. I think he's met women who've just told him, grow a pair. Apparently we have no ball men today. Grow a pair and be a
Brad,
man.
I think you dried out Crow.
Okay. I don't know what you want me to do. My job isn't to try and seduce the chat. I'm trying to give realistic advice to the guy or person that we're reading the story from.
Totally just fucking with you, dude. Bruce,
By the way, women are agreeing with me. It's mommy issues. I can spot one from a mile away.
Mommy issues. I wasn't going to go with mommy issues. I was going to go with something else, but I'll go after Bruce.
Did you mute yours?
Bruce muted himself.
I'm muted. Okay. I'm stuck on the word disenchanted. Okay. I feel like this guy, he feels like he has a mission. His mission is to go get into a relationship or get married or something. So he feels like he has a job. So he's put all this pressure on himself to accomplish the mission. Okay. What he really needs to do is just live his life and do what he is going to do in his life and enjoy that and be comfortable. And if he meets the right person, he will meet the right person. Okay. By just doing normal things, and stop looking at this like it's a big screen TV he's got to find at Best Buy or something, which is what his writing is like. That's my take.
Yeah,
I'm here. I spilled my beverage and now I'm cleaning it up. Well, not on camera.
Clean up on aisle 3. Something's not wet, at least. It's Omar's floor. Or wait,
it's real moist over here.
Yeah.
But
so he says he's got an oddball schedule, and then is saying that the women aren't being flexible with his oddball schedule because they expect him to meet their schedule, which is likely he probably works like night shift or something.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that the women want to be available at nights when everyone is largely available in the dating pool.
What I would say is this. He's 40 years old. He's taking account of his life. And he finds that he's not the genius he hoped he would be. Nobody has discovered his genius and offered him to be like the president, CEO of Amazon or anything.
What?
He's stuck in, whatever dead-end job that he has.
Did he say that? He's not saying that.
I'm deducing, Brad or Bruce. This is what I do. I deduce. I know you don't like deduce. I deduce.
You're painting your own picture.
I'm painting my own picture to formulate my answer. He's disenchanted. He used the word disenchanted. He's disenchanted with his life. He imagined he was going to have a partner, some kind of person that was going to succumb to his whims, that was going to take care of him, that all the things that he said, right? The good women. He was hoping to find someone to share life with, share common goals, enjoy everyday pleasures, enjoy our physical dimensions, have mutual support. I wanted a person who was oriented in creating a bond, who was a fan of me as much as I'm a fan of her. But there were conditions cast upon that, which might have been cute when it was 21, but now he's like 40. And he's not setting the world on fire, and he's angry. And the kind of women that he would deem acceptable to him are not interested in him. I'm willing to venture a guess that there are women that may be interested in him. Like, I don't know what he looks like. I'm just willing to guess that if he was a charismatic guy, if he was willing to go with the flow a little bit, if he was willing to let the universe do its thing and bend himself to the whims of the universe, I think that he might be able to find what he's looking for. But he's not. He wants
His mommy.
No, he wants Jennifer Lopez. He wants Kathy Ireland. He wants a whatever supermodel. He's got this idealized picture of what he wants, but that picture doesn't want him. He's not A-list model material. He's looking at these Instagram influencers and wondering why they're not interested in him. They'll take his money, but they won't take his companionship. And so he's used to being rejected. He's a guy that gets rejected often. And so he finds ways to anticipate rejection with negative comments towards those that he's pursuing, which in this case, it appears to be the entire human race that happens to be women. And so maybe there's an expectation thing. Maybe there's an aspect to this where his expectations or his what I'm trying to say, he's got unrealistic aspirations towards women. He's a little bit like Shallow Hal in that movie, that one guy, where there's women that will date him and be friends with him and be all the things that he described in paragraph 2 or 3 or whatever it was. But she's got like a weird feet, or she dresses weird. She's got this weird thing with her smile, or he finds ways to talk negatively about women because it's this protective mechanism towards him. That's very much red pill way of thinking. And he doesn't have the cachet to think like that. He's not rich and he's not good looking enough to be able to do that. And so here he is, this meddling, mediocre man that is disenchanted with the universe, his word, because he doesn't have Andie MacDowell. The thing about Andie MacDowell is she wants somebody that's not so rigid. She doesn't want to be objectified. She doesn't want to have to succumb to his mandates, to his personal well-being. The thing about men that think this way about women is that they're way too rigid in the way that they go about dating and in their relationships. They're not willing to bend from their idealized version of what a woman should be to them. And so they reject well-meaning women, and they're not attractive to the women that they're seeking. And so they end up in this incel culture where this guy probably has a manifesto somewhere. He reminds me of this guy that I saw a documentary on. It's like, I don't understand why women wouldn't choose me. I got my own place. I got my own apartment. I got my own thing. I'm financially sound. I got a good job. I'm relatively good looking. I work out. I do all these things. Why don't women want me? Because you're freaking weird. And because you keep on going to all of these like alpha male classes on how to be an alpha male, and these dating classes on how to talk to women to get them to do whatever you want, and thinking that that's a thing and it's going to work for you. And they're taking your money and you're not getting anything out of it. What happened with that guy in the documentary is he ended up going to a gym and shooting up the place because he was just so sick and tired of being rejected by women. This guy has similar vibes. So there's hope for him, but if he's going to continue to be rigid in his outlook of the universe that doesn't conform to his,
he's kind of angry.
angry and all the things. His outlook on the universe does not supersede the universe itself, and he's going to be sorely disappointed for all of his life. Or he can be, like Bruce Lee said, he could become like water, and he could let things happen, and he'd probably be a lot more fulfilled in life. But he wants to shape things the way he wants to shape it. He just doesn't have the cachet to do that because he flamed out.
He's not very zen.
He's not very zen. He's not, he doesn't appear to be a rich man. He doesn't appear to have like level 10 level model looks where he could have his pick of whoever he wants despite his many flaws. So he has to compromise a little bit, and he's unwilling to compromise. And so the sentence for that is forever loneliness until he finds a way to not be that way. That would be my assessment of him.
He wasn't gonna shoot up the place now. He is definitely going.
Well, now he's definitely shooting
your speech. Thank you for the encouragement.
Hopefully he's not watching this.
No, but
but if he is, he should send me his script for his next Hallmark movie to a red pen. I will edit it up.
Miley Mercurial says, and they could be incredibly Yeah, and I would not want my daughters going on a date with this man. If they went on a date with a guy like this, I would be trailing them in my car, like surreptitiously.
Okay, I'm gonna give a more maybe humane advice to him. Not humane, but I would say stop dating people with the intention of marrying, because then you will never get to know the real person. If you, let's say, if you were, instead of analyzing him, let's help him to get what he wants.
Yeah.
Then I would say it that way, that if you always look for a partner to marry with the intention of marrying, that is much harder, because the truth will come, the true personality of people come, not necessarily in a bad way, but the chemistry, right, or the lack thereof will come out sooner or later, because you cannot act on the long run for that long. Some people can act for 5 years, 6 years even, but sooner or later it all comes out. So I would say go be a hoe, date around.
Go be a hoe.
You know.
Well, the problem with this guy, nobody wants to be a hoe with him.
Be friends, and please don't shoot up the places.
Don't shoot up places. Yeah. Well, let me ask you, Juanita, what could this guy? Let's just say, I don't want to assume. Let's just say that this guy's like a 6, right? Let's just say that you were single. What could he say to you that would spark your interest in dating him?
Am I privy to this information that we just read already?
Let's just assume. Well, you know, that's a weird question to ask. I don't even know how you would answer that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what you said is correct. The guy cannot have this rigid view of the universe where the next person he meets has to be his wife. Just let shit happen. Let's just assume you're not going to get. You know, how it happened to me is I did not have any expectation of getting married. Matter of fact, I had every expectation of just being single. My whole goal in life, I was just going to be living my life as the most interesting man in the world. And I was going to go from place to place, and, you know, but shit happens. And then you meet somebody, and then, you know, it turns into something. It happens organically, but you don't force things like this. When you're trying to look for your forever partner, that's like the worst. Like, it's not going to work out that way. It never does. It's usually a situation you find yourself in where, holy shit, like the universe has conspired to like perfectly align this one person that just happens to share all your interests, and you have so much in common, and, you know, whatever, the stars have aligned, and this is the one person that you're not willing to get rid of, and they happen to like you too. And you know, this guy's not allowing for any of those things to happen because he's looking for Andy McDowell. But Andy McDowell's like 75 years old.
And he also has unrealistic expectations of what relationship and real life is. If
exactly.
You think that like you know, just go find a friend and become a family. Like, find a friend in a sense that be friends with whoever you marry. Otherwise, game over.
Game over. Exactly. Could we get off of this incel, please?
It's not Andy McDowell. It's the idea of Andy McDowell.
Well, that's what I mean, metaphorically speaking.
I don't know who's Andie MacDowell. Should I ask?
She's like an actress. The reason I said 75 years old is because Andie MacDowell is not attainable. She's 75. She was a real person, not a character in a movie. And, his Andie MacDowell.
It's an actress.
It has to be malleable. Never mind with this guy. We've already covered him.
He could have put the character's name in the post,
what was her name in the movie?
People wouldn't have known the character name as well as they know the actress's name.
Right. Do you even know that movie Groundhog Day, Anita?
No.
You're forgiven if you don't. It came out like in 1993.
2 years after. I was 2 years old, so.
I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
Well, Brad, that makes you gay.
No,
damn.
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay? Because you hadn't seen Groundhog Day. That's why.
See, if it was Top Gun or Rambo, any of the Rocky movies, then yeah, I would agree with you. But no, not on Groundhog Day.
I'm just fucking with you, Brad. Totally am. Anyway, it's a chick flick at its heart. It's a chick flick. So the opposite of what I said. Just never mind.
Maybe he picked Groundhog Day because he looks like Bill Murray.
Maybe he does.
I don't know. Tom Cruise. If it was Tom
Bill
Cruise,
Murray, I feel like he's an attractive
Kelly
guy.
McGillis.
He's got charisma. He's like a comedian. I don't know. Bill Murray. He's like one of the coolest guys you could ever imagine to meet. Not in real life, but in his characters he's played. Let us move on. Leave Brad alone.
Yeah.
Who's picking on Brad?
Do you study the Smurfs?
Who's picking on me?
True? Do you like the Smurfs, Brad? Is that true?
I wonder who.
What?
The Smurfs, like Gargamel and the Smurfs?
No.
Oh.
I am not a Smurf enjoyer.
Sarah, would you guys classify Groundhog Day as a chick flick?
No.
I feel like it kind of was. It's like a rom-com for sure.
No.
I don't know, Brad or Bruce. I think it's pretty much a
That's a resounding no. Now I'm curious.
Okay,
just go to Ask Google or something. Do you go on
Anita,
chat AI things to answer?
No, I want Anita to watch it. You'll love it. Anita, you'll love it because I believe it's a chick flick. I don't know if you like chick flicks or not. I just want you to watch it and tell me whether or not you think it's a chick flick.
Is it funny? I mean, is it a comedy or what?
Yes, it's one of the greatest movies of the 20th century.
IMDb has it tagged as feel-good romance, high-concept comedy, holiday romance, romantic comedy, drama, fantasy, romance.
I promise you'll like it.
Actually, I like the good old, movies where it was like 90 minutes in total, not 2 hours and a half.
It's about 90 minutes, I think.
This won't be a 3-hour movie or whatever.
No, but it's really good. It's really good. You'll like it. I promise you'll like it. And then you tell me after you watch it whether or not it's a chick flick or not. Anyway, this guy wants to know what he should do. I've been in a relationship with my youngest son's father for over 12 years. I have 2 older children from a previous marriage. They're now 19 and 15. And my first husband has passed away. Together, my current partner and I have an 8-year-old son. I'm the primary breadwinner in our household. I'm about 4.5 years older than my partner. Throughout our relationship, we've had many rough patches, mostly due to his actions. I've caught him cheating and been being deceptive more than once. Despite everything, I chose to forgive him, but I've never truly forgotten. And you never really do when it comes to episodes of infidelity, do you?
And you never really truly forgive, I believe.
No, that's a scar you're never going to get rid of. He does.
I'm out immediately.
Yep. He does most of the cooking, but I'm the one who buys the groceries and makes sure the kitchen is clean. I've asked him repeatedly to clean up after himself, especially when he cooks and leaves food on the floor, counters, and even the cabinets. His response, he blames my older children and says if I don't make them clean, he won't either. I don't know. If he's cooking, I feel like he should clean or she should clean. Like if she is cooking, he would be the one to clean. I feel like that's the correct division of labor.
Clean what? The dishes?
Yeah.
Or clean
when it comes to cooking, like whoever cooks, the other partner cleans. That should be the rule.
Cleans what? The dishes?
Yeah, the
Means
dishes.
the entire house, the outside of the windows, everything?
No,
Like what?
we're not
The
talking about
gutters?
The pots and pans used in preparation of the food.
Yeah,
pull the
and
fucking
cutting
wood,
board.
go out there
The
and like
dishes.
dig ditches and stuff. No, man, we're just talking about the dishes. Just literally the
Yeah.
dishes.
Well, then you gotta be specific, man. Put some,
Oh,
you know,
I forgot to pull
tighten
up
it
my
up.
spreadsheet. Tighten it up, Dick.
Tighten
You know
it
how
up
I know
like
you're gay?
Laura's.
You don't use spreadsheets.
What?
I'm just never mind. Never mind, Bruce.
Hey, we like spreadsheets.
I've tried to set reasonable expectations when he cooks for himself. He should clean his own dishes. When he cooks for the family and makes a bigger mess, he should clean that up too.
Damn.
Meanwhile, when I cook, which I do occasionally, I clean up everything afterward without being asked. Okay, I see your point. Financially, I carry most of the household expenses. He frequently asks to borrow money not for essentials, but after spending his own on beer, cigarettes, marijuana, and despite everything, I've taken him back more than once. Are they married? No.
Been with, but not married.
Out,
Okay.
out, get out.
Financially, one more painful truth. When we break up, he makes very little effort to stay present in our 8-year-old son's life. That hurts deeply. And it's hard on our child. His family also discourage him from being with me. But I suspect that's because they only hear his side of the story. Of course, that's why. So I'm asking myself, and now you, am I wrong for expecting him to clean up after himself and contribute more equally? Especially when I'm doing so much. Should I even consider taking him back again, or is it time to finally walk away for good? Oh, I've got the answer to this question. She did mention infidelity, though, didn't she?
Yes.
All right.
Being deceptive and cheating is what she said.
I've caught him cheating and being deceptive more than once. Okay. Well, then, I don't think that she's considering breaking up on account of him not washing the dishes. It's more about the cheating and the deceptiveness than anything else. This has nothing to do with washing the dishes. Let's be real. Because that's an easy answer,
Okay,
isn't
but
it?
Omar,
Yeah.
is my connection okay?
Yeah, you're better.
Yes.
Okay, good. If this whole thing is just about the cheating, why is there all this other ancillary detail? What's that about psychologically from your experience?
Because I think that people that choose to stay in relationships after bouts of infidelity oftentimes rationalize why they're still in the relationship. And now that they've rationalized it and they got children, what I hear more than anything else is I want to get divorced, but the children, they've got an 8-year-old that she knows is going to be disregarded by dad when she does break up. And so she's, it's interesting. She doesn't want to leave because of the deception or the cheating. She wants to leave because he doesn't wash the dishes. What is that about? And so it feels like she made this decision once to forgive him, pull him back, probably because of the children. And now it's not working out the way that she wanted to, because had children not been a factor, she would have been long gone. And there's no amount of look, the fact that she's harping on the dishes, nobody gives a shit about that in a good marriage. You got goals, you got tasks, he got tasks. You guys sharing the housework, you guys sharing the finances, whatever. But she accepted him back in the face of this blatant violation, the cheating, the deceptiveness. And now she's making a big deal of the dishes because she wasn't ballsy enough to cut ties at the point of deception.
She's punishing him.
So it's some kind of rationalizing or bargaining?
No, it's
Which is why I say
punishment.
this isn't about the dishes. It's about the cheating
It's
after the fact.
punishing.
Well, she said, I've caught him cheating more than once. And then she's talking about all this other stuff. And it's only one kid with him. Not the others are from the previous marriage. So, but because she allowed him back in the house multiple times, he's not doing enough to be able to sustain his hobbies or wants in drinking, smoking, and smoking. So it's she's painting him in this light that he's being basically just a deadbeat kind of guy, and she's looking for validation as to why she needs external validation to kick him out for the reasons that she already knows. She's explained it all.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Bruce?
Well, Anita had said something like punishment. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, it's like it's when, maybe this is gonna sound bad, when you know it's over but you're not strong enough, or you have many other reasons to stay. Like if you say that, for instance, she has the kids, right, or she's finding excuses, so it's like a projecting, right? So she never, like, she decided to forgive him, which means that he's not really facing repercussions, right? So consequences for his actions. And it's a human nature to revenge or punish when you're hurt. So it's just psychologically, you just start looking for little things you can punish them with. Sometimes it will be a sock left on the thing. You just like, it's so disproportionate to the action itself.
I could understand that happening. In this letter, are her expectations unreasonable? It says, I've tried to set reasonable expectations, but maybe she's trying to set the bar too high to push him away, or maybe
the bar is not too high at all. So like, I think it's very important.
Yeah.
Like she mentioned the cheating and everything, like she's over it, right? So if it was, if she just mentioned the relationship, without the cheating or the previous pattern, if this was just about that sink or like cleaning up, she probably wouldn't have brought up the cheating before. So the fact that she wrote it in this context, I think the bigger picture, it gives me that.
Well, I think that this is kind of what happens when you compromise yourself for the sake of the children. Like her primary concern is very clearly of the 8-year-old. That's the thing that she's like hanging this all on. Makes very little effort to stay present in our 8-year-old son's life. She has children with another man who probably is not like that. And it's really painful to watch her 8-year-old navigate life with a disinterested father. That sucks. And she's grappling with the juxtaposition of her ex and this guy. She wants to leave this guy. She's wanted to leave this guy for a long time because of the infidelities and the dishonesty. But now she's fed up and she's at the end of her tether. And she's trying to justify to herself why she should leave this guy. She's talking about, he doesn't clean the dishes. It's not about cleaning the dishes. The hell is that? In the picture. Is this the poster?
That might be an ad in your...
It says AY.
Omar, what have you been Googling?
What the heck's going on here?
Thank you for all. She says, thank you for all your advice. I agree with everything that's been shared. I've been reflecting on it all, and I just wanted to make sure I'm not being overly dramatic. Some have wondered why I've stayed, and I think it's because I still love the person he used to be. There's a sense of comfort in the familiarity. Remember my earlier tie into being on the escalator? That's where that came from. I wanted to ensure my son had his father around. I've been telling myself that he's using me, but sometimes it's harder to leave than just to stay. At this point in my life, all I truly want is peace. I'm so grateful for all your support. Thank you again. I don't know. I feel like, oh no, this is her. This is her. This is the poster. She's like this young girl. I feel like
she wouldn't have 19 and 15-year-old kids if she was a young girl.
Well, my mom had me at 16. When I was 19, my mom was 35.
Her user icon might be one of her kids or something. Who knows?
What I was gonna say is, if she wants to leave him, these are the stakes that she's placing on herself. She thinks that if she leaves, I'm dooming my son to a non-participant father. And that sucks. I don't think that she sees her other children ever having to have endured something like that. And there's some guilt on her part, and there's some act of self-sacrifice that she's enduring this relationship, knowing that it's not ideal for the sake of her son. And yeah, I mean, you could do that, and you could sacrifice yourself for that. I think that in my opinion, children are a lot more resilient than you think. Whenever parents want to resolve the relationship or save the relationship as a result of the children, it only gets worse. Very seldom does it get better. It always inevitably leads to the same result, which is like a very painful breakup. It's either going to happen now or it's going to happen later. I promise you. Look, I don't know what the percentages are, but there's a lot of children out there that have grown up in broken homes. Broken homes is not going to be the death of your child. It's going to be some kind of adversity that they're going to have to overcome. So they didn't have like this perfect stack of cards. Their poker hand was not ideal. They grow up in the broken family. They don't have the perfect mom, the perfect dad, the perfect home, perfect setting, whatever. Yeah. You overcome adversity. That's how most people become successful. And this child is going to be fine. If you're truly this unhappy to the point where you're complaining about the dishes and considering that to be grounds for a divorce, you really don't want to be in that relationship.
It's never about the dishes. That's what is it called? The last straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. She's looking for an excuse to get out. Just leave. Just go. If this guy is a piece of shit the way that you say he is, and he's going to abandon his 8-year-old child, then maybe his child will be the better for it. Or maybe you get out of the relationship and he wants to be a dad, and then he does things that dads in that situation would do, which would be to be a part of your son's life. He's got another 10 years before he's 18, 10 years of childhood. It just reeks of her trying to salvage the relationship for the sake of the children. It's never been a good idea. It's never worked out. And if it has, I've never seen it, not in my cases anyway. Which I guess would be fair, because if that were the case, they wouldn't find themselves in my office, would they?
Yep.
Maybe she just needed a pro-con list in Excel.
Do it. You know what, Bruce? I give you full permission, like in the course of when we're reading these cases, to fully put together a spreadsheet that goes over pros and cons. I honestly think that would be helpful. But anyway, that's my answer for this guy. I mean,
she has all the information for the spreadsheet. I don't.
I mean, she has it in her head. She doesn't need she knows the answer. She knows the answer. Like if you sat her down and had a conversation, I'll tell you what would happen. I would start saying some of this stuff. She would be sitting on my chair, like right across from me, my couch right across from me. And she burst into tears. That's exactly what would happen, because she's been holding on to this for so long. She doesn't want to be in that relationship. And she would just be looking for a way to release. And she would release it in the form of tears on my couch.
Well, it's like you're the therapist. It's like Reddit is the therapist. It's like a therapist is a therapist. Sometimes people have to say something, even if it doesn't, they're not looking for the other person to even, solve their problem, right? It's just the act of consciously enumerating it to yourself.
Yeah.
What's needed in these, and maybe that's why these letters exist on Reddit. Because we're always saying, like, why are you asking Reddit? The answer's obvious, or you should go to, don't ask Reddit. But they're just trying to get it out there, I guess.
Yeah. Crow wants a divorce, but has never been married. I feel you. Redondo, what's up, Redondo? It is hard to let go of the person he was. Yeah. There's some, I'm not sure if that's the scenario, but when they met, like he was like Prince Charming and all of that. And he was funny and he was charismatic and he was all these things and he was faithful, but then he wasn't. It's hard to let go of that image. 100% it was. Michelle Moulton says, mine did when I was 8. I remember I was so happy. Yeah. Your children will thrive on your happiness and they will grieve in your sorrow. That's the way with children. Children are empathetic in their nature. Some people grow out of their empathy and some don't. And the ones that don't, they call them empaths. If you believe in Sylvia Brown, I guess. I don't know. Brad is an empath.
And you're a hoe, according to Lauren 90.
Totally.
I know which one I'd rather be.
Let's move off of this one. I think we've talked this one to death. Let's move on to what does this mean about my relationship?
Why do we have these?
I don't know. Oh. All right. What does this mean about my relationship? I've been with my boyfriend for 8 years now. We are both 26. I've been starting to feel weird about our relationship, but I can't decide whether it's me done with the relationship, like outgrown or grown apart, or if it's
you're done with the relationship.
Jesus Christ, Brad. Both 26, 8 years now. Been my boyfriend for 8 years. Eesh. So she's literally 18. On the escalator that I talked about at the beginning of the show.
18.
I can't decide whether it's me done, okay, or if it's the itch that people talk about. We don't live with each other. We don't see each other every day. We were young when we first started dating. Y'all are still young. We'd have arguments and big fallouts, and we'd break up for a while, but always got back together. I think a lot of it was just being so young and secure with our relationship. Another part was that he'd message other girls while we were together saying they're hot, or would do it while we were broken up. Yeah, no shit. He's like in his early 20s. Then he'd claim we were never broken up. It was a mess. This was in more recent years. I forgave him. But now I'm thinking that isn't what someone who truly loves you would do. He never physically met up with them that you know about. But I read and found the messages myself. He didn't tell me about it.
Wait, does that work if you just message girls and say, you're hot? Let me know. Guys, does that work?
Is there a reason why you would message girls to tell them that they were hot without the intention of hooking up with them?
Oh, should I try it?
Do it.
I know people who are been married to their people, and will comment on these Instagram profiles of women posting in their underwear and be like, you look so good and things like that. It's like, dude, like, how in the world is that like honoring your wife? It wasn't David Jingers, but
he did that too. I just wanted to bring that up.
Mm-hmm. But no, I don't even need to read the rest of this. She's done with the relationship. If you're dating someone for 8 years and you're not living together, like at 18 you start dating, you go off to college, you're separated, it's long distance, then you eventually reconvene, and now you're dating. So that's 22 to 26, 4 years that you're not trying to build anything in the relationship. You're not talking about, hey, instead of paying for 2 apartments, why don't we move in together and save ourselves some money, and then we can use that money to go do nice things, go on vacations, normal dink stuff that I know some people enjoy. It's just
what?
Dink, dual income, no kids.
Oh, the hell is that? I've never heard that term.
You
explained it. But
it's a term that I've heard from a friend of ours that we don't talk to more, but they were dual income, no kids, and they had 2 corgis, and that was it. So it was just a matter of, they literally had all the money they wanted to be able to spend on themselves and go do what they want. And for some couples, that's just great. They can live the social and extravagant life that they feel like they never had. They don't have to worry about taking kids to daycare. They don't have to do any of that. They can just do whatever they're what's that term? They're living their
best life.
Their best life. That
I hate that term. I hate that term so bad. Whoever says that, just know that I think lesser of you as a person.
Oh, it's gonna bother me.
Well,
we understand the concept.
We understand.
Okay.
I know. It's just this phrase is so on point. Or it's not even a phrase; it's a word, and it's gonna bother me. Someone else go. I gotta find it.
All right. Well, what do you think about this guy, Bruce?
This is a big post.
Yeah.
That
is a sound observation.
Does she have a question in here? I don't. What does it mean? Oh boy, she's looking for meaning.
Post, have we? They're broken up. He claims he never broke. He's talking to girls, whatever. Oh, Brad was offended because he was talking to other girls, but he's like 24. Of course, he's going to talk to other girls.
26.
Did I just accidentally? God damn it! All right. So I've just been annoyed with him lately. The littlest things bother me. I know it's not right, but I can't help but be frustrated with him because he's not doing anything right. Like simple tasks, I'm constantly having to explain how to do something or mother him, and it's getting old. If I don't tell him to do it or how to explain it, he simply won't do it. It's also started to affect our sex life as we don't have it for weeks. I'm just getting annoyed with him touching me. I don't want to have sex. It's uncomfortable for me now. I've had friends tell me when you start to feel annoyed by their touch, that's a sign you're done with the relationship. Is that true? No, that is not true. That is a very common thing that happens in most marriages.
So it is true.
Yes, but is it a reason to cut ties on the relationship? No.
When you're 26,
I was gonna offer the caveat that they're 26. You're right. The point is, look, if you want to be with somebody at 18,
I think there's a difference, Omar, between if you're like married for 20 years and
you're
sometimes
right.
you get annoyed with your spouse, that's different than she's 26 with a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And every time he's touching on her, she's annoyed with it. These are very different things.
Why do you think that she's annoyed though? Why do you think she's annoyed?
Because they're done. Because he I don't know. He's not doing anything right, like simple tasks.
And he's talking to other girls and like talking about them on their Instagrams or whatever he's doing.
Another dude who wants a mom or whatever.
Yeah.
They were saying chat.
He claimed we're never broken. Because he's talking to these other girls. Insecure the relation. Yeah, if you want to continue on with your high school sweetheart and you're not 26 and you're pissed off because they're talking to other people, no shit, they're talking to other people. Because the escalator gets boring. And in your 20s, you have all of these options available to you. And he has no idea what he wants. You don't have any idea what you want. Granted, you're 26, you're like right on the verge. So you got to start making some decisions then, shouldn't you? And if you're at the point now where you're 26 and you're annoyed because he's touching you, you're going weeks without having sex. You say, I do love him. Yeah.
She doesn't have the level of experience, right, needed to understand things. This is why the fundamental point this is why I ask what the question is. The question title is, what does this mean? She's looking for meaning. She can't deduce meaning because she doesn't have enough experience because she's been in one relationship. That's why she's asking, is that true? And the obvious answer is yes, it's true.
Anita, what would you say to this young lady?
It can be true.
Hedonism.
I'm asleep.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Hedonism?
Yes.
Oh, well, you're 26. I mean, Have you ever been to the hedonism resort?
No. I've heard stories of a particular prolific internet lawyer that may or may not have gone to that, but
I mean, it's not like a nefarious thing. It's like literally just a resort. And they have never mind. I do love him. I don't know if I should just leave him or wait longer. All of these feelings have only been happening for the past 3 or 4 months, so I don't know. I think the best thing that they could possibly do at this point would be to, you know what? How about a trial separation? They don't got any kids, do they? I don't think they do.
Nope.
you know what? Separate for a year and go sow your wild oats. The two of them. Because if they come back, the chances are that they're not going to come back together to reconvene their relationship. That's not going to happen. But in the off chance that it does, at least it'll be fortified by the fact that they've examined their other options and still came to the conclusion that they were the ones for each other. And that will go a long ways towards assuaging these feelings of what she's describing, with her sex life and insecurities and all these other things. But
Wait,
if you're going to
you think they need to go to Hedonist Island or whatever?
Why the fuck not? Go on that show, Temptation Island. Isn't that on Netflix?
Island? Is that what you're saying? But we were real critical of the guy who wanted to go on the gaycation with his brother-in-law.
Well, because it was a gaycation and they're already married.
Now we've got a double standard.
You can't go on a gaycation and be gay with your brother-in-law. That seems so much worse than what we're describing right now.
I don't know.
We are not keeping in the family. That is not the goal.
Zone.
Oh, you guys. All right. Should we move on to another one? I got to wrap this up pretty soon.
Lauren said she was setting it up. So she'll send out links for 10:30.
Okay. We'll do one more and then we'll wrap it up. It's already 6:41. All right, let's do this one. Do you want to do this one that says looking for some advice on my troubled marriage of 2 years, or should we do this one? When do you know it's time to leave your marriage?
The 2-year marriage it's 2 years. Just break up and get the divorce. You won't have to worry about it.
What do you think, Bruce? You know what? I'm going to choose.
Flip a coin.
I choose this one. Let me share my screen. I think we've lost Anita. She's muted herself. Maybe her phone died. Or she might have fallen asleep. That's also possible.
We bored her to sleep, yeah.
Oh.
I blame Bruce and his spreadsheets.
Yeah. They're soothing.
Yeah.
Just don't get paper cuts.
I would have blamed Brad, but people accuse me of picking on him too much.
I deserve it half the time, so
half the time at least.
Can't blame Brad for everything.
I only do it because we're friends. That's all. And we've had debates on air about stuff. All right. When do you know it's time to leave your marriage? Let us examine. Hello. I've never posted on here before, but I'd like some advice. I've been married almost 30 years. And lately I've been questioning if my husband still loves me and is attracted to me. He never tells me I'm pretty anymore. When I get dressed up, I've cut my hair, I tried new lingerie, I worn new clothes that look cute or sexy. He says he still finds me attractive and loves me, but his actions don't reflect that. He doesn't touch me anymore, even though I've told him many times that just a hug a day would do wonders for us. We were intimate still, but it feels more like getting off. It's a getting off session than being about being close. One time when we were finished, he even jumped off and was running to the shower to get clean, then stopped when I started crying because I felt so disgusted by myself that he felt the need to get clean after. He's on a sports team, and all I ask for when he's out is to know when he's coming home. He calls me when he knows the schedule for the day. He always forgets or calls 7 to 8 hours later. When I've been home waiting to know if he will be doing anything, I always feel like a second thought and that everyone else is more important than me. So, friends of Reddit, how do you know when it's time to move on? Or I just want to be happy and feel like I bring the person I love happiness as well. I don't know what to do. Well, to that regard, I don't know how old these folks are, but they've been married for 30 years. Let's assume they're in their 50s. You can divorce in your 50s and have a single life. And, what are you looking for at that point? I don't think you're looking for marriage at that point. You're just kind of looking to float around and find some measure of happiness. I don't know what you would be looking for. You want somebody to be attracted to you? If you're in your 50s, you'll find somebody like that. But the second that, look, it'll fade quickly. Like, it's no different from when you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. The attractive thing is always going to be the curiosity of somebody new. And once that's gone, it's done. It's done. And so what's fizzled in this relationship is the newness. Yeah, he knows everything about every square inch of your body. There's no mystery to that. And what's more is it's 30 years old now. 30 years of deterioration and decay. Not just you, with him as well. Does it mean more to you than him? I don't know. Usually people, after they have sex, take a shower. Now she's taking offense to it, which tells me that there's something else going on with him. Like she describes the sex as not like this bonding thing that they do together. It's like this masturbation session that they use with each other's bodies, which is not the same. You're going to get divorced and you're going to find out that somebody's going to you'll have great sex with somebody new for like a week or two or a month or two. And it's going to go back to the same thing. After a certain age, sex kinds of loses its mystery, doesn't it? I mean, after a certain age and after so much experience, you kind of know what it's like to have sex with everybody. There's no mystery to that. It's all kind of the same thing, isn't it? Like there's parts and there's things that go places, and there's only so many different body types. And
I think you're focused too much on the excitement of an initial relationship. This question is like, is she happy in the relationship versus being out of the relationship with everything else that goes along with life?
My point in bringing all that up is that, yeah, he's not attracted to her. That doesn't mean that he doesn't still love her as his wife. I've talked to a lot of guys that are in their mid 50s and that are like approaching their 60s. They're like their late 50s, like 60. It's funny. Like I get these divorces like in their mid 30s or their 40s or whatever. Oh, she thinks that I'm cheating on me. And it turns out that I was cheating on her. And then there's like the 60. Oh, she thinks I have a girlfriend. She's always thought I've had girlfriends. We've been married for like 20, 30 years. I never have. What am I going to do with another girlfriend? I don't need girlfriends anymore. I just want to go out and chop wood. I had a guy literally tell me that. Look, I just take care of my house. I go out and do yard work. I do what I got to do. I don't have time. I don't want other additional girlfriends. And they're talking about getting divorced. Like, what are you getting divorced for? Like, what are you searching for? And I always have these conversations.
Not a euphemism?
Well, the point is, like, they always talk about like sex being like this monumental occasion where, oh, he doesn't love me anymore. If you're gauging it by sex after 30 years, I think that you're paying attention to the wrong cues. Like, I think that the older that you get, like, not that sex isn't an important thing, but like, what else is he doing for you in your relationship that amounts to somebody that might love you? Like, maybe he's still like cooking you breakfast. Maybe he's like still doing the things that he would normally do. His husbandly duties around the house, his husbandly chores. Like, look, you think you're going to have like this spectacular sex life into your 70s or 80s? Maybe you will, or maybe it's going to slow down and it's inevitable, but you signed up for this one person and you're in it till the end. And now it's been 30 years and you guys are bored of each other and you're taking his boredom with you as like some kind of cue that he doesn't love you anymore. All I'm saying is,
I think the intimacy part here is the hook for the story for Reddit. It's like what they know how to tell Reddit. The thing to me that is like a flag here or something, a thread that I want to pull on is this thing about I always feel like a second thought now and that everyone else is more important than me.
Yeah.
To me, that's saying it's like she's not happy in life in general with the relationship versus outside the relationship. And I want to understand that more. Uh-oh.
Homer.
I pressed the button on accident. I didn't mean to erase you all. No.
Yeah.
No, I hear you with this. Well, I didn't get in. I was trying to explain my comments on the sex thing. But you're right. Secondarily to that, he always forgets your calls. So that's kind of bullshit. Agreed. Agreed on that. Most husbands that are engaged or concerned about their wives don't go 7 to 8 hours with no contact. You're usually on call.
Especially if he's on a even minor league team where he's consistently doing things with the guys.
What's he doing in this? He's playing on a softball team. Get out of here. He's playing slow pitch softball.
Not for 8 hours.
Yeah. Why is
Have
he
you ever
doing
been to a
that?
softball tournament? They
I think
literally
there's-
play like 5 games a day.
I think there's things in here we don't know.
Yeah.
There
That
certainly
explain
sounds like
more.
there might be a whole lot of extra things going on. But
I'll tell you this. Well, maybe there is, but I'll tell you what, like golf is like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and probably later than that, 4, because you're going to go out for drinks afterwards. If you're playing softball and it's like a weekend tournament, that could take all day. You're playing like 5 to 6 games a day.
Wait,
depending on
he's
how
a
you
pro
do.
golfer? What?
Well, no, like he could be like slow pitch softball is my point, and still be like legitimately out playing softball all day long. And like if he's playing softball, he's not going to have his phone right now. I mean, he should, but like I can understand.
You could.
I'm not
Is
trying
he
to
being
make it
paid?
sense for this guy. No, he's paying to play. 100% he's paying to play.
But it sounds like, according to the post, that it said like top league sport.
Top
That-
league according to who? Okay, so he's like in like the top over 50 softball league. Fuck off. He's playing slow pitch softball. Kiss me.
Look, I mean, Dave Neal pitches in baseball or whatever every once in a while, and he's not
I used
out
to pitch too. I threw out my
a billion
shoulder.
hours a day or whatever.
Yeah. Well, even that, like before I went to law school, I was playing ball. I was going to tournaments. I was like in Arizona. I was going to like Florida. I was going to all these different places playing ball, and we would play like 2 to 3 games, like legitimate ball, until I threw at my shoulder. And I mean, so there's legitimate reasons why you would be an amateur expending this much time playing whatever you're playing. But he can't be. He's either in his 50s or his 60s, and he's playing sports. Good for him. I don't know how much to attribute to the 7 to 8 hour things, but yeah, that's the red flag in this. It's not the sex thing. Was my only point.
Yes.
But her question is it time to move on? I'm not so sure that it is. Maybe he just doesn't like you that much. That doesn't mean he doesn't love you. And Luann brought up a really good point. Well, Luann talked about try a date night. Maybe they haven't been in a date in years or months or some kind of thing, going on a date night and like spending some time to focus only on your partner would probably go a long way to reintroducing themselves to each other. But there's caught in routine. He's got his hobbies. She's like sad about the fact that he's not putting time into her the same way he is her hobbies. I don't know.
Well, they would have to communicate about that. Did you just say it's okay for him to love her but not like her?
Oh yeah. Yes. I told. I mean,
that's like probably true couple. If you have like a crazy aunt or something,
Just
because
it's not even that.
But like,
well, let me explain.
It's old couples sitting in rocker chairs and like, yes. Are you going to move, old lady? Because
If you've ever observed older couples,
yeah,
they genuinely don't like each other.
What do you mean they don't like each other? They'll snark.
Well, they snark at each other. They don't like talking to each other. They get on each other's nerves, but they love each other.
I don't know.
If you can't dislike your partner without being in love with them, you're with the wrong person. You got to have room.
Not 24/7.
Not 24/7, but there's always like a hint of sweetness at the end of every. Like sometimes
that means
they
still like each other fundamentally.
Like you could genuinely
dislike each other sometimes.
Check this out. You could genuinely miss your wife, the presence of your wife, the company of your wife. And when she gets home, you don't want to talk to her. You just missed her. But like, she's annoying as fuck. And you still talk and you like do all these things and you don't want to talk, but you missed her presence. And like, it's that thing that you bond over. But the stuff where you don't like talking to each other, like the snark and all those other things, it's all done in jest. It's all done in love. It's part of your relationship. It's how you grow together. It's how you deal with like it's like these microaggressions that help you get over the maladies of your marriage.
I don't think you're going to love someone you're in a relationship in unless you like them fundamentally.
Well, you got to like them.
There's moments where you dislike them, but it's a prerequisite.
It's like your sibling. Like, I don't know if you ever had an older brother or an older or a younger sibling, but you hate each other and you fight, but then you're like my girls, they're 5 and 6. I don't want to be your sister anymore. I don't want to be your sister anymore. I'm not going to go to art class with you. I'm not going to go to jujitsu class with you. Well, I'm going to go to the bathroom by myself. So, well, will you go to the bathroom with me? I'm scared. no, I will not go with you, but I'm scared. It's like, okay, I'll go. And then like they
You're
get along.
describing like a forced familial relationship.
But at the same time,
marriage is not a forced familial relationship unless you're in some sort of weird arranged marriage or in some sort of culture where it's like impossible to get divorced.
But the thing is we're talking about couples likely from the greatest generation who, when they took their vows back in the 60s, they actually meant it and said that I'm not going to divorce you, even though I may not like you right now.
I get it.
Still committed to it.
Yeah. I think that generation's older than the letter we're reading.
Well, yes, but that's the kind of concept that we're trying to bring up. And
yeah, I get it, but I don't think that applies to this letter.
Aquanetta, thank you so much for the $50. She says, I appreciate you and congrats on 25K plus subscribers. You deserve it. Much love. Aquanetta, I just want to say that you're my favorite. Of all the commenters in all of my chats, you were my favorite.
What?
I love seeing you in all of my streams. Thank you so much for your comments and your kind words. Rob asked me, what do I consider older? I was like, I mean, I don't know. Older is subjective. I just feel like the longer that you're married to somebody, look, the quickest thing to go is going to be the novelty, right? And then what's the next thing after novelty? Is it physical attractiveness, or is it just like this general malaise that you were in before marriage that disappears because now you're living with this person and perennially annoyed with them constantly? You end up turning into siblings. That's what happens to old folks. The most successful couples that I've ever seen bickered with each other, but there's healthy bickering and there's not healthy bickering, and there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's the mark of a healthy relationship when you could bicker with your partner because you're doing it out of respect. You're doing it because you can't do it with anybody else. But who else am I going to make fun of? It ain't going to be somebody else, and it takes years to build something like that. And you're less inclined to.
I guess I'm just looking for a different word than dislike.
Oh, well, okay. Don't say dislike then. Annoyed with. How about annoyed?
I don't
dislike
know.
is the wrong word. You're right.
There's got to be some unique word for this phenomenon.
Maybe or maybe the word is by Sarah Dawn. Sarah Dawn says, that's the perfect word for it. Hey, you want to talk about a relationship? That's the word. That's honestly the word. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's
if you want to talk about the relationship, you should have caught me 15 years ago.
Exactly.
Right. Oh dear.
Anyway, my point is there's nothing wrong with the bickering. I feel like it's the hallmark of a really healthy relationship. But this thing, the 7 to 8 hour thing is alarming. I'm trying to encourage this lady not to divorce her husband. Don't be disenchanted with like the sex thing. I mean, talk to him about that. Have a date night. Go to hedonism together. Hedonism is like this nudist resort that you go to. They have one in Jamaica. They got one like in all kinds of different places. I don't know, but you go to a place like that, and if you want to, or you don't have to, just go out, just go somewhere together. Like discover your partners. Like there's a part of this where he's spending so much time and doing his own thing, and she's sitting at home waiting around for him. She gets really lonely, and she feels not as attractive as she used to, and she's wondering if he's attracted to her. And as soon as sex is over, he's just showering immediately. There's probably nothing nefarious meant by that. It's like, well, goddamn, it's like, what am I going to do? You got to take a shower. It's done with. It's over with. He probably didn't mean anything negative by it, but she's attributing to it all these negative things. I'm just trying to encourage them in their 50s. Maybe that's not the reason to get divorced. Maybe he's got some innocent reason for the 7 to 8 hour things. I wouldn't be saying this if he was in his 30s or 40s. You know what? It's a legitimate concern because you should be on call for your partner at all times. 100%. That is the red flag. But considering there's some kind of, assuming there's an innocent explanation, and I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, he's definitely cheating. I've been accused of that before. You think everybody's cheating. Okay, so fine. Maybe he's just playing softball and he's really engaged with it. Let's just assume that. Don't divorce the guy, man. Where are you going to go? Where's he going to go? Maybe he's got a crush on like the 25-year-old secretary somewhere that, they doesn't will never have a shot at. And maybe that's the thing. But he's inevitably going to be coming home to you. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
A lot of maybes.
life is a lot of maybes.
Yeah.
The universe is a lot of maybes. If you just always assume the wrong maybe, then you're always going to be getting divorced and heading down these negative roads. Why don't we just stop with the negatives and just assume the positive and just really examine it? Like Bruce always says, communicate. Let's build a spreadsheet of all of the reasons why we're married to each other. And we could rediscover ourselves in like the positives and ignore all of the cons.
You know, Omar, a spreadsheet is a tool for your toolbox. And you don't always have to use the spreadsheet because it shouldn't be the only tool in your toolbox. It's like
you haven't met my father.
If you had a toolbox in your garage and it only had a hammer, you'd be in big trouble because you need a screwdriver and a drill and a paintbrush. I don't know.
Yeah, a Venn diagram. Like Rob says, a pie chart, a dot matrix.
Dot matrix printer. I don't know. A dot matrix printer. A spreadsheet is good, but you can't use it for everything.
No, it's not for everything. But just, I mean, you get the point. Just like rediscover each other. Communicate. Like Bruce always says. Sarah Dawn says, hello from Omar's second favorite commenter.
Damn.
Yes, ma'am. Sarah Dawn. We love Sarah Dawn over here.
Not third best. What?
Yeah. I don't know if I have a third best. I think everybody's my third best.
She can be my third best.
Yeah, she's your third best.
All right. I'm gonna go message her that she's hot.
Oh, do it. Did you see that? I remember once I was starting a stream and then she summoned you like Beetlejuice. It was weird. She said, Bruce. And then someone said, I know what you're doing. She's summoning Bruce like Beetlejuice. I thought it was the cutest thing.
Interesting. I wonder how that works.
That's some of the funniest things.
You showed up, so it must have worked. I don't know.
I'll be watching a stream and then people will message me and then I just magically appear in chat and it's like, oh, we summoned him. It's like, no, I was watching the stream beforehand, but thank you.
All right, folks, I got to get going. I got things to prepare for. I love you all. I don't know what happened to Anita. I'm suspecting that she must have fallen asleep. It is like 3 a.m. where she's at. I don't think the coffee had much of an effect.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. But folks, I love you guys. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Don't do anything to get yourself in trouble. And if you do, call me. Don't talk to the cops. Redondo, one last comment says, how much impact, if any, does a police report filing criminal abandonment of a spouse have on the impact of divorce court? How much impact, if any, does a police report filing criminal abandonment have? Very little, if any, because that wouldn't be evidence of anything other than possibly the deficient investigation of a police investigation to some unrelated crime. I'd need more details.
What is criminal abandonment of a spouse?
Filing criminal abandonment of a spouse.
Some people are married and the lady calls the police.
Criminal abandonment is not really I don't believe that that's an actionable crime, unless you're talking about like a negligence of.
The guy went out for cigarettes and never came back. What are the police going to do?
Well, that's not a crime, but like maybe it could be like elder abuse or something, or like a abuse of a disabled person, abuse of a child. Like if you left a child by themselves, that would be neglect. If you left a disabled person by themselves, that could potentially be neglect. An older person, neglect. It'd have to be something of that. But leaving a spouse is not in of itself a crime. Would be my answer to that. Well, folks, on that note, I think we're going to wrap up. I love you all. And Bruce, Brad, do you have any parting words for all of your fans? You want to plug your YouTube channels? Hey, Brad, are you still doing watching the space launches and stuff on your channel?
Yeah, if they didn't have a test vehicle that exploded on the test stand, then it was supposed to be like 2 days from now. But yeah, that's not happening.
Let's say leaving your wife in a parking lot with sepsis. That may be actionable. You'd have to have a whole lot of evidence.
How do you know that you have sepsis?
I'd imagine it would be a medical diagnosis.
Yeah. Is this a
Yeah.
hospital parking lot? What is happening?
I don't
I
know.
don't need more details.
Yeah, there's a lot going on over there. But it just depends on so many things. But folks, I really do got to wrap up because in 25 minutes, Lauren has started a stream, and we're going to be talking about the Laura Owens stuff. I got to get home. The girls are waiting for me. I love you all, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.